Hey everyone. So I just want to do a bit of a rant about hustle culture. So before I get into that, I just want to say I'm very close to 2,000 subscribers. So if you can subscribe to me, that would be great. Hopefully we'll be there in the next couple of days. So yeah, 1.97k now. But yeah, hustle culture. So this is something that's been glorified. You've got people like, um, what is it, Gary V, and all these like hustle bros that are just promoting this, kind of like, there's this whole like Sigma grind set and monk mode and all this kind of nonsense, trying to, promote this idea that we shouldn't have a work-life balance and we should just be hustling all day, just basically hardly sleeping, just getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, like. But the thing is that isn't really healthy if you just not getting enough sleep. I mean, yeah, some people might go to bed early and then get up early, that's fine. But some people will just be like staying up till like midnight and then getting up at 4 a.m. And this is really bad for you. It's, if anything, it's gonna lead you to having worse productivity. You have worse ideas, you'll have just kind of, and your energy will be so low, it'll make it hard to do other things. Like you'll probably struggle to get fit because your body isn't recovering properly. So if you're trying to like work out and do all that, and then it's a lot of stress on the body. It's probably going to age you a lot quicker as well. Like we need time out. We can't be constantly grinding and grinding. Like it would just get so, just just suck your soul dry. And oftentimes they're doing things they don't even really believe in as well. Like a lot of times they're doing things like scams and grifts and stuff like that, that they don't actually believe in their products. They're just trying to hustle, trying to just promote their nonsense to people just so that they can keep making more money. They're never happy with what they've got. So it's crazy because like, it's like, okay, you got a few million, you should be happy with that, right? But then some of them will just feel the need to continue. I think even like Tate said himself that anything more than $20 million does not benefit your life. I mean, I would say even less than that. You're just gonna have like diminishing returns once you get into like the millions, because how is it going to really make your life that much better? So yeah, it gets to a point where earning more just is like, I think it's just kind of excess. You just end up probably just buying more cars, another holiday home or something like that. So you're just stressing yourself out all day for what exactly? I don't understand it. It's just this mindset that's just toxic. I think um, it's like, because they're seeing all these people on social media and then they might want to try and emulate that. But are they actually really happy? I mean, if you're happy with that, great. But the thing is that a lot of people, they do this, at expense of other people. And it's like, yeah, some of them might have good intentions and they're trying to help people. They're trying to help people with their goals or whatever. But if they're charging more than they need to, then I just feel like that's kind of taking the Mickey a little bit. It's just, I think it's just a bit, just unnecessary to say the least. Because especially when they start like trying to upsell people, and um, it just it's just kind of like just exploiting people really at a certain point. Like I'm all for people like trying to just make a living for themselves, but this constant like chasing money and materialism, I don't think is going to be the answer for like your mental health and all that. Because oftentimes people think that, oh, if I just make another million, I'll be happy, but it never happens. They're just constantly, it's just going around in circles of like, trying to like chase after something, then it just feels like you've not really made any progress, because then, okay, well, it's the next thing now. Oh, next million, the next billion even. But that is just, it's not going to fulfill you. It's like the thing that will fulfill you is having a grander purpose, something of meaning, something that you're actually doing that's of genuine service to people, rather than it just being some kind of either a pyramid scheme or some kind of scheme. Like, oftentimes people do these get rich quick schemes, which a lot of it's it's all a load of crap. It's not happening unless you get extremely lucky. But most people just well, I mean, I don't know if most people, but a lot of people just buy into these things, hook, line, and sinker, and then I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily most people, but there's a lot of people that would just kind of not trust any of that, especially as more of it gets exposed. And it's crazy how people will fall for things like there was that story about fake Elon Musk, and someone fell for that and give him money. It's crazy, but yeah, a lot of the hustle stuff is not very moral, because at a certain point it's like, if you want to make more money, then you're probably going to be stepping on other people's toes, and I don't agree with that. It's like, how do some people sleep at night? Like, I mean, they are literally just exploiting others' vulnerabilities, and oftentimes they'll try and psychologically manipulate people into buying their stuff. And then it's like, and then you've got the day traders and all that, and they're just constantly like obsessing over graphs and stuff like that. It's just, are you actually living if all you're doing is just focusing on hustling and just trying to make more and more money? It's like, at a certain point, you've just got to I think you've just got to cash your chips in and just be like, I'm happy with what I've got. You have to get to a point of contentment. Now, we should be content already, but like, as in, we should be have a kind of point in our mind where it's like, okay, this is where I want to be. For some people, it might just be like $1 million, maybe something like that, where they can just buy a nice home, go on holidays, experience different cultures, and they don't necessarily need more than that. They just want a nice enough house to where they could raise a family, perhaps, and be able to go on some nice holidays, go do different things, try different activities out, and have financial freedom. But you don't need millions upon millions upon millions to have financial freedom. So it's just that people have gotten into their heads from all these gurus that are, oftentimes a lot of them are fake gurus, and they're trying to promote this hustle culture to people. You've got, you're like, people say, oh, just buy this course, and yeah, like, you've got to, just, if you don't make it, then it's because you weren't working hard enough. So they'll try and kind of like gaslight people into being like, oh, well, it didn't work out because I was being lazy or something like that. So they'll kind of like sometimes convince themselves that that's the reason, because they don't want to accept that they've been duped into buying a course. So a lot of it's that we see all these people, like I said, your Gary V's, your Tates, your you name it. You got people like Samuel Leeds, for example, was another one, and he got involved with him, and that, to me, he's just another one that I wouldn't trust. Like, he's just he was promoting this whole thing, saying men should not have work-life balance or something, and that kind of like, it's just, why? Who the hell wants to just be working all the time and just kind of like draining their soul? That is not the way to a fulfilling life. Yeah, even if it makes you more money, but so what? At what cost, though? So yeah, it's I could talk all day about this. It's just really it's crazy that people are just so invested in this hustle culture thing that it's just so toxic, in my opinion. I mean, if you disagree and you think that hustle culture is great, I mean, I'm open to hearing your points of view, but I just think that there's more to life than making money. Like, life is about having experiences and creating memories and having things to share with others. That's what I think it's about, and you don't necessarily need tons of money to be able to make great experiences and memories. We just need to have good people around us. We just need to have enough to be able to do all that, but we don't need, like I said, we don't need millions upon millions. So we just need a decent amount, and I think anyone can do that. It's just, but there's people that want to have you believe that you need to be making a certain amount, because then you're going to be like, oh well, what's the way that I can do that? And they'll try and sell you some course and be like, oh well, you got to buy my course if you want to make like 10 million or 100 million or whatever, because they don't actually the thing is, they don't, because like they want to make so much money themselves, so they're like making you think you need to do that, because that's how they're making their money, by selling your dream. But some people can get by on like a lot less money than what these people will have you believe that you should be trying to get by on. I mean, especially if you consider like maybe even looking at moving to a different area where the cost of living is cheaper, like, and even in like parts of the UK where it's, you can get like a decent house in the country for like 500,000, maybe something like that, or even less, maybe like 300k. If you might have like 4 bedrooms for like 300k, 400k, something like that. Have a bit of land perhaps, but it's like, of course, if it's in like London, then it's going to be really expensive, but yeah, like you can just, it's not like impossible to be able to make enough to be able to do that. And you just want to like focus on just slowly building up at different income streams. Like, I would say, like, trying to generate different income streams, find different talents that you have and different passions, put them together, mix a bunch of active and passive streams. So you've got some passive there that's like in the background, so it might be like some, for example, it could be like property investments or anything that, if you want to say use some of your like extra money to like rent out properties and stuff. But so then you can have this kind of like income that's kind of like residual, if you will, where it's just constantly coming in. But yeah, you can just say like start up I don't know, just like start up a coaching company, or start up a some kind of personal brand, like doing like one-on-one calls. Or you could do, because the thing with like the internet now is that people are using it as a way to get out of the rat race. But the thing is, you should be focusing on what you actually are interested in, because you're more likely to stick with it and not just give up because, oh, well, it's not making me money right now, I'm just going to give up. Well, if you have a passion for it, you're more likely to stick with it, because it's not just about the money, you actually enjoy doing it regardless. But yeah, it's just you've got to find something you enjoy, start kind of think about what you want to do, and then really do some like research on it, so then you've got enough knowledge on it and you can start sharing that with others. If you've got problems that you've solved in your life, you could use your platform to be able to help others to solve their own problems, and you can build an audience with that, and you can give people advice, and you can then go more in depth in a paid calls and stuff like that. So that's something that you might want to look into if that's something you have an interest in. but it's ultimately up to you what you want to do. Like, you just got to figure it out and not let, you know, all these gurus tell you what you should be doing and that you should be, start drop shipping or start doing SMMA or whatever. Because, well, for one, a lot of these are oversaturated, and two, do you really have an interest in a lot of this stuff? Is this something you really want to be doing? It's just people just want to jump on trends and like just hustle in the hopes that they're going to be making millions. And I mean, it's not guaranteed, and it's like, and you might just be miserable in the process of it. So you could just be like hustling for nothing. So that's another thing. It's like it could all just be in vain. You know, it could all still be for nothing. You just like think, oh no, I've just wasted so much time and even money, like, and you just focus on something you have a passion for, and just build up a platform. You could build up a YouTube channel like what I'm doing. You can start making money from it. You start getting the ad revenue, and you can start getting contributions if you have value. People want to give money to you if you have value, because then that's encouraging you to provide more content. So yeah, so if you can find something good to say, then people will want to support you as you start to build up a reputation for yourself. It just takes time. So you could just do it as like a side hustle at first, and then eventually you could make it into your full-time hustle, and just, you know, maybe make yourself, you know, a few thousand a month, or even tens of thousands a month. But it's just about consistency. It's about giving yourself enough break, because sometimes we have to take ourselves away from it, because then that's when a lot of times our ideas come, is when we take time away, we do other things and we get inspiration, and you can just suddenly have an idea. But then if you're burnt out, you're a lot less likely to get good ideas, because your brain's not going to be functioning at 100% if you're not sleeping enough and you're just tiring yourself out, just constantly looking at screens and doing, you know, work on your computer or whatever. That is mentally draining. So, I mean, there is like things like nootropics that people can take to counter it, but it's only going to do so much. So yeah, so I just think that this hustle culture thing needs to just be kind of, I wish it would just stop, but I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. But we just got to like stop, you know, like just listening to these gurus trying to tell you how you should be living your life, because yeah, they want to live their life that way, but that doesn't mean you should have to. It's like when people like Tate saying stuff like, I'll do it in his voice, right? It was something like work-life balance is for pussies. Like, if you're not grinding like 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, you're a pussy. You're a beta. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I mean, he might have a few good things to say, but I think a lot of his message is just really toxic, and it puts a lot of pressure on young men to feel like that they're losers if they don't have a Bugatti. You're a loser if you don't have a Bugatti. So that's a really bad message for young men. It's just going to make them feel really insecure and feel like a loser if they don't have all these things that he has. Like, we just need to not put so much pressure on ourselves, guys. You know, life is long, and we don't have to rush to get to where we want to be. Just enjoy the journey and have realistic goals. Life is a marathon, not a sprint, they say, innit? So yeah, it's like people looking for like get rich quick and just trying to rush things. You don't need to do that. Just have gratitude for this present moment. Like, I'm out here in the woods, as you can see. and it's just yeah, it's a really nice place. So not as nice weather today, but I actually don't mind it like this. It's not cold at least. It's not raining at the moment, so yeah, it's it's good. I'm enjoying it. I hear the birds singing, and just a lot of people are not even paying attention to these things. So we have to just remember to tune into the simple things, like the details in like nature, like all the leaves. We've got all the trees, everything. That I know it might sound all a bit hippie, like crap, but I think there was some thing to be gotten from just being, part of nature and just appreciating it, because everyone's just so focused on hyper materialism, consuming all these goods, getting these fast cars. But why do you need 10 Lambos or 20 Lambos? At a certain point, you gotta think this is a waste. So yeah, it just ends up creating more wasted materials, which arguably isn't very good for the environment. So yeah, let me know what you all think. I'm gonna wrap it up there. So I'll see you all about 7 p.m. UK time on my live. So all right, take care. Bye.